Perfect. So let me review first, like the commission for Top and what we discussed with Nespresso. So I'd appreciate everyone if they put their mics on mute, please, just because I hear myself a couple times when I'm speaking. Thank you. So for the month of April, we will be paying your commission still the same way as we have done for 2026. So it will be $3.50 for your sale and $3.50 for Top. All right. So Top is separate for now and only for April. Are we all following? Starting next month, Top will be mandatory for your sale. Okay, so for you to get a commission, which will be $7 for a sale, you'll also have to complete Top. If Top is not completed, you won't get the sale as a bonus. The reason why, I'm going to explain what the back end looks like for Nespresso. Nespresso, they make their profits, I'm going to be very honest, on capsules. Okay, so for Nespresso to pay that bonus, clients need to start learning how to buy capsules from Nespresso, which is why we create the accounts for the customers, put them a first order with their first purchase as a backup, just in case they need other options. And then they'll be able to be ready and fully set up as an Nespresso customer. Okay, so that's why we create Top. Top, we use it to facilitate the client's service. It's part of your job. So it will be mandatory starting next month. Okay, and it's very important. Thank you all for joining today because we're going to review on how Top works. All right. If we have any questions, please, you could raise your hand on Teams. If not, you could write it in the chat. All righty. So let's start with Top. So Top in general means trade assisted portal in Top, the longer version of it. So the agenda today, we're going to review on why is Top important, how to include Top in your conversation with customers, a step-by-step, so obviously the full step-by-step guide, client objections, and finally, we're going to review common issues if we have the time and how to fix the common issues. Starting off, why is Top important? So we use Top to create an Nespresso account for clients who purchase a new machine with one of our NCAs, NCA, Nespresso Coffee Advisor. This facilitates, enhances the overall customer experience by providing a faster and easier access to customer service. So all of this should be wrote down so you could explain to customers and, add more arguments why Top is important in your conversation. So first of all, it's a faster and easier access to customer service. So when the client has any problems, they leave the store, they will call customer service, right? Or they're going to go on the site and look up for customer service. If they have the account, it'll be faster for them to get an answer from the advisor on the telephone. So that's one advantage. It'll just be a lot faster, their service. Number two, notifications about new promotions, capsules, machines, and more. So if you have Top, you'll be part of the member of the Club Nespresso, which is the site of Nespresso. So if ever there are any updates, new capsule promotions, which clients love that, right? New machines, a new update such as a new ambassador joining our team. I don't know if you're aware, but Dua Lipa, the American singer, is going to join as an ambassador for Nespresso starting April 14th. I'm an Nespresso, customer on the site. I'm a club member, which is why I got notification. And now I'm very excited because I could know that a pink iced coffee cup is going to join the series on April 14th. So I'm going to be aware and I'm going to have the first heads up. Or with new promotions coming up, such as, sometimes Nespresso does, if you buy 200 capsules, you would get 3 boxes for free. So you will have great promotions like that just because you're part of the member. Okay. Number 3, proof of purchase date to ensure warranty eligibility. So yes, all Nespresso machines have a 1-year warranty with the brand. We're all aware of that. This is going to be a proof that the warranty, like the date of purchase, is applied on the day they buy it. Okay, so you will be able to create the account for them. The date will be registered online. So if ever there are any questions, I'll go to the questions later on. And if there are any problems with their machines, they call customer service. The first thing usually they ask is, what's your account ID on the phone? And if the client doesn't have an account warrant, like the ID, there's no proof of the exact date that they bought the machine, unless they kept a receipt. But a lot of times people throw out receipts. Okay, so it's basically like a backup proof of the warranty applied in the site itself. And finally, personalized first coffee order recommendations from an NCA. So you'll be able to give them the perfect coffee recommendations according to what they like. So if the person likes strong intensities, they're not going to be confused on what to get on their first purchase. Everything is already applied in their basket. All right. Now, moving on to how to suggest TAP to the client. So my biggest tip is we never want to ask them. We never want to tell them, hey, can I register the machine under your name? The client will find excuses. Okay, they will find excuses. They're going to say, no, you know what? Right now I'm busy. They're going to find ways to avoid it. What you have to do is make it part of your service naturally. So I'd recommend you to do it even in the middle of the conversation, like as just a heads up that right now, if you buy the machine with me, I'll be able to do the following. So what I would recommend is, thank you for choosing Nespresso. Once they choose the machine, I'll take care of your registration of you're registering your machine under your name. This way, you'll enjoy personalized coffee recommendations, seamless support from home, and complete peace of mind with your warranty. You'll also be among the first to hear about exclusive Nespresso offers. Okay, so this, like the 4 ways, the 4 advantages I gave you before, this should be mentioned in the conversation. Now, moving on to the first time logging in. So I'm mostly sure that you have all logged in till now in TAP at least once, I hope. But if you haven't yet, and if you don't have access to TAP, please let your manager know as soon as possible, because we need to get you updated on your new account. Okay, so for your first time, if you haven't had access to TAP, you'll have to fill in the email field with your credentials. This is obviously done on the work iPad in store, and enter your password that you choose. Press retail store. So you'll have to select the store you'll be working at, and look up for the store that you are working at with the search bar and press on it. You are finally logged in when you click on continue. Okay. And for the people who already have access to a TAP account, this is how you would log in. So you'll have to add your email. Once you click on continue, you'll have to add the password you chose and you log in. If ever you forgot your password, you can always do forgot password, but sometimes you won't receive the email to change the password like automatically. So you'll have to ask your manager to update and like send that email themselves with Nespresso. Okay. And when you log in, a window will open automatically and begin synchronizing data. So while synchronization with the main database is not required to use the application, we strongly recommend syncing your data in advance if you anticipate connection issues at your retail location. So what I recommend at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, you should make sure that the app is always working. So this page will pop up. When the data is correctly synchronized, the status will be showed as finished and written in green. So you could see here, I'm going to circle it for you. You will have this finished button, which is saying all green finished. Okay. If ever one of them bugs or it's not working, you can always do refresh. And when the data fail to synchronize, the status will be showed as an error, like on the bottom, and written in red. So do this step at the beginning of your shift to make sure the app is all set up before client interaction. Okay, so you don't struggle with the app in front of the client. Now you press new registration. So you'll have to click simply new registration to enter a new client. And you'll have to add the serial number of the machine that you are selling. So you'll have technically 3 ways to do it, but it's usually 2 ways that people actually use. First of all, you scan the serial number with your iPad's camera because it's easier usually. And if the camera is not working, you can simply type down manually what the serial number is. Be careful. If the serial number has any capitals, write down in capital letters. Okay. And you'll have to click on continue. This is what the serial number looks like on the screen. So if you can't find the serial number of the machine, please ask your manager, but it should be like a number looking like this. And check that the MSN, the machine serial number, is matching with the MSN you found on the box. So, before you use the serial number, make sure it's matching up and press on use if it's all confirmed. So once the machine is selected, press on the continue button. Now, something to keep in mind, if the machine model is different than the one scanned, do the following. So sometimes, example, you scan a Virtuo Next model, but a Virtuo Pop appears. So when that happens, take a screenshot of the page, keep the serial number, send it to your field manager, and Nespresso will adjust the model under the client's account. Okay. And if the machine color is different, no need to do anything. So the color doesn't do a big difference. Use the keyboard to fill customers' details. So this is where you ask the client, what's your first name, what's your last name, and what's your email. Once you add all 3 information, you're going, the application will check if the client actually exists already in the Nespresso database. So once you click on continue, there will be one of 2 ways the app will go. First, the client does not have an account already with Nespresso. So this is where you'll have to create the account for the customer. So you will have this create new account button that will show up. You click on create new account and you'll have to add manually all of the information yourself with the customer. So you ask them, what's your title, first name, last name, postal code, your city, address, country, where you come from, Canada, usually. Language is English or French, phone number, and the email should be already written down. If ever the client tells you, hey, I'm looking to buy capsules for my workplace or at another location, that is where you could also add deliver to another address and add the following information, such as the new address. Okay, and this is where you'll have to click on continue. Now, if the client had already an Nespresso account, you'll have to click on continue here. So the account will find automatically by the app. It will be found themselves. If it's not found, this is what you would do. Sorry, give me a sec. Okay. So if the client does not have an email address linked to its Nespresso account, this is what you do. So when searching for the customer for the first time in the app, it is not possible to search for a customer without an email address. However, there is a way to bypass this search requirement. So in the first step of the customer research, fill in the customer's first and last name. Contrary to what is described above, enter a fake email address, such as an example I've added here, nespresso@gmail.com. And please note that it has to be really a real, like, fake address, meaning the format, it should be like an email format. It has to have something at gmail.com or at nespresso.com, whatever. Okay. So you click on continue here, and the system will find an account linked to these contact details. Now, if the account doesn't find the email, you'll have to go to advanced search. Here, you can search criteria you want to use to find the client. So select from the different search criteria you want, such as all of these following. So here you can search the criteria you want to find the client you want to find by the email. You could either do member number or last name, first name, last name, postal code, first name, last name, and email, first name, last name, and phone. If the client is sure that they kept one of these, you could go with that. So let's say sometimes they've changed their emails. That's when you go with a phone number. You know, if they changed their phone number, you go with the email. And if that doesn't work as well, you can always go with a postal code. Okay. So in this case, I'd go, let's say, with the first name, last name, and postal code. So you click on that and you will have to add all of these here. So first name, last name, and postal code. So select a search criteria, fill in the customer's data, and press search. The system returns to customers' accounts corresponding to data entered, and select a customer account and continue with the usual procedure. So you'll simply have to click search, and usually when the account pops up, you click on continue. And this is where you offer the client all available channels to receive Nespresso updates. Okay, so this is where the client will receive notifications from whatever channel you select for new updates. Choose the client's contact preferences, and at least one needs to be selected to continue. If the client refuses all, you have to click one, but you could manually stop the notifications yourself on your phone. Okay. And you press continue. My favorite is you select all of it, like all channels. But if the client refuses, that's when you could select on one of each. You can select on phone instead. And when the client receives text notifications, they could write down in capital letters, stop, and it will stop the messages. Okay? Yes, James.
I'm actually able to continue without selecting preference.
Are you able to continue without selecting one of these?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it shouldn't let you, but if it is, then sure, that also works. But usually we want to select at least one to continue.
All right, noted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. And then once you click on continue, yes, Emmanuel.
Say if we get to this point, right, which happened to me last week, and the person just goes, no, I don't want to do it anymore. Can we just, and we can't go for it, what do we do then?
Why don't they want to do it?
They just didn't want to give me their phone or any social media accounts.
So usually we'd still have to click one, but let's say if they absolutely refuse, that's when I guess we have no choice but to leave them do it themselves. I would usually tell them, like, this should be done anyways. You have to create your own account when you reach home.
Okay.
You'll have to create one to get that, first of all, proof of warranty, plus any, if you want to get capsules later on, you'll need that account to be able to base off your past orders and get more notifications, etc. So I just tell them like what the importance is of TAP, and if they still refuse, that's when you could say, you'll have to complete it at home. Okay. But usually I just tell them, like, technically you're not going to get any notifications if you stop it yourself. So you click on phone and it would just, you write down as a text message, stop in capital letters, and it stops. You could just tell them that. Okay. All right. Then you continue. So this is where you select assisted coffee order for usual cases. So you'll have to usually pick out a minimum of 50 capsules for the client for a future order. It will be more of a basket. We're not going to take their credit card ever, okay? It's mostly something they'll have to complete it on their side. Sometimes also, especially like, for example, right now we have the Virtuo Next in the white and gold color. So in the box, you have a $35 credit or $30 credit, coffee credit that comes as a gift, right? So instead of doing that themselves at home with a coupon, you'll have to click on tap the $35 yourself. So you'll have, let's say here, I'm gonna try to draw a second square with the coffee credit. It will not be doubled. It will just be that instead because the serial number is linked to the credit already. So once that is entered, the clients can't apply the future coupon themselves after. Okay. Yes, Kelly.
Sorry. So if we don't do it now, they will not get it, or can they add it after?
They can add it after as a coupon
Okay.
if you don't
Okay.
complete it as a tap.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you can instead, like, if you want, you could, and if it's like the case of white and gold, you could just click on assisted coffee order instead, and they can complete it later on, the credits themselves at home. Okay. Narmela, I see your hand up.
Hi. My question is this 50 capsule, right? When customer choosing. I had my last customer choose 70. What will happen?
So a 50 is a minimum to be able to order capsules to someone's house. Nespresso doesn't allow any orders if it's less than 50 capsules, but it's just a bare minimum. So if the client wants to order more, sure they can. But something to keep in mind, to get a free delivery for your order, you need to order a minimum of $75 of coffee. So usually we want to suggest them $75 for not, like, for them not to pay any delivery services.
Another question. Okay, this, I mean, I need more you explain. This 50 capsule, do they pay for it or what?
That's a great question. So we're going to review later on the steps, but they're going to be having the option to pay or not. So we're just creating them basically like a basket, and like an how do you say that? Like an online basket. So like an online basket, okay? So what that does, the client has the choice later on to add their credit card or skip it. If they do want to pay for that order, they'd have to add their credit card and confirm the payment on their own side of the account. And I'll show you later on how it works. But if the client doesn't want the order, they just ignore the future step. You just have to complete this tap registration for you to get the commission for your machine, but it's going to be like a 48-hour basket that will be in their Nespresso account. If they do change their mind later on, they can always purchase it. Does that answer your question, Armilla? All right, perfect. Any other questions before I continue? Okay. So this is where you'll have to click usually on assisted coffee order, but if it's a coffee credit, you select the second one, and you'll have to select them capsules, right? So the capsules are displayed usually in one page. I'll show you what the page looks like after. And to add, you just have to do the plus icon. plus icon and choose the quantity of coffee. Obviously, as you know, capsules come usually in boxes of 10 or 7 if it's an alto or carafe size. So keep in mind, Vertuo Pop Plus is not going to have the carafe and alto size because it's not commercialized to do alto and carafe sizes. The reason why, because obviously the machine is super compact. So it doesn't really fit alto and carafe sizes underneath the machine. Okay, so if it's a serial number of an pop, it's only going to show you capsules from ristretto to regular coffees. But if it's a Vertuo Next, it's going to show you all 7 sizes. And one more thing, limited edition capsules, they're not in this menu for now. We're trying to get it added, but it's very complicated because we work with other countries as well. So, like, you know, limited editions, they're not here. In case the client is interested in limited edition, they can buy it themselves after in their future order. Okay. So repeat until the customer is satisfied with their order. And as you can see here, the capsules are written down. Something else, if it was an original machine you registered at first, it will only show you original capsules. If it was a Vertuo machine, it will only show you Vertuo capsules. Then when customer is satisfied with the coffee selection, press on the cart icon on top. And if needed, you can reduce amount of coffee by pressing the minus button in the cart. So you can always adjust if ever the client wants to remove something. Review order with the customer, and once they confirm what all of the capsules they selected, you press continue. So this is what the initial page looks like. So reminders, select a minimum of 50 capsules to continue, because we can't do orders if it's less than 50 capsules. Reminder, a minimum of $75 of order is required for free delivery. So this is important, we have to mention it. And give the client choices of different flavors according to their preferences. As I said before, capsules come in boxes of 7 or 8 or 10, sorry, in one flavor. And the client will receive a verification code on their cell phone. Yes, Ian.
Oh, hi, Alex. So, yeah, regarding about the last page, when you mentioned that the minimum threshold of getting a free delivery is $75 worth of capsules, there was a time I think a customer walked up to me and then she already bought the machine a long time ago. She said it was $50 at the time. So did we change from 50 to 75?
Yes. So yes, it
Okay.
used to be 50 and now like it's been almost like 5 months.
Okay.
We changed it to $75 as a minimum. The reason
Oh, I
why
see.
to add it, like to add like extra information you can see to clients, obviously we want to limit the orders as much as we can to help the environment, right? The more
Okay.
we order, let's say if you give them the option of, you know, 1 box a week, clients would do that, and it's bad for the environment with all the pollution. So that's why at least you would have to order a minimum of $75, and you won't have to think about another order for at least a month or 3 weeks, depending on the coffee consumption,
Okay. Thank you.
of course. All right, any other questions? Okay. So this is when the client will receive a verification code on their cell phone as a text message. So you will see a green check mark demonstrating the code is sent. Add the SMS code to confirm client's phone number. So it's just like an extra confirmation. Click verify code, and once that is verified, you can continue from there. The continue button will appear, blue. Now I want to add something here. You can see here on the screen, this is what the client receives as a text message on their phone. Okay, so it's going to be an SMS code. If you read it, it says your Nespresso verification code is blah, blah, blah. Don't share this code with anyone. Our employees will never ask you for the code. Now, this is contrary to what we do usually, all right? So one tip I could give you is, if ever the client refuses, you just switch the iPad to their face and say, please add the code yourself. Okay, I know it's not the best of solutions, and we did talk to Nespresso, so they could change this as soon as they can, and if it's applicable to change, but this is the code they receive for now. So if ever the client, like is complaining, or they say, you know what, like I don't believe this, that's when usually we show them the iPad, and they'll have to type down the code themselves. And make sure you tell them, obviously, use the capitals and numbers as well. Okay. So this is the best solution I can give you right now. I apologize for this from the part of Match Retail's team and Nespresso's team, but yeah, this is one thing we'll have to, show them. And if ever they complain, they say, you know what, sometimes, I've had a client where they told me it seems like a scam. You remind them that we're working with a multi-level national, such in worldwide company, Nespresso. This is not a scam. Like, it's a system integrated into the application we have, which is also worldwide. So the reason why it shows this, what I think is, there's a way for them to complete tap later on. And the way they complete it later on, that's how the code would appear on their side. Now we're doing it with them to help them complete it, right? So that code is still the same with us. It's just not changed, so they can complete it themselves on the tap if you switch up the iPad, or you give them the iPad in their hand, but please make sure they don't run off with the iPad. So yeah, okay. Are we all okay with this? Any questions? All right. And I hope Nespresso can do something about this as soon as they can. But for now, this is what we can do. Okay. So this is what the recap will look like. So first of all, you can review this order with the customer by pressing the arrow down. So this is like just a recap to show what coffee they selected. And then you'll have to select the payment option. So usually you will only find one option, which is Visa, MasterCard, and Amex. As you realize, we're never taking their credit card ourselves. So it's just checking in credit card. And customer needs to confirm that they understand terms and conditions and they accept the policy, the privacy policy as well. So you just select, do 2 buttons. And you confirm with the client the total of the purchase. So please make sure you're showing them how much they're going to be paying, and press on finalize order. So to do a recap, this is what the page will look like. And you have to review coffee selection with the customer, select Visa, MasterCard, Amex, terms and conditions, and the privacy policy button. Confirm the customer details one last time to prevent any issues with delivery, and confirm total of purchase, reminding the client their order is free of delivery if ever it's higher than $75. Okay. And then once you click on finalize order, this is what page that will appear on your screen. So your order starts getting validated. It doesn't show that it's actually validated yet. Okay, so wait for about 10 seconds till the green check mark appears. During this time, ask the client to scan the following QR code to finalize their order with their telephone. So you could ask them very kindly, sir, ma'am, could you please take out your phone? Anyways, they have it out because they have to confirm the SMS code. You could just ask them, like, keep it out because I have another step for you. And they scan this QR code and they will have 3 steps to do. I'll explain the steps later on. So you can see here, first step is complete. You see here the green check mark? That means you got your commission. Okay, so this green check mark has to be on the screen then you can click on back to the task menu. Are we all good with this? So very important, please wait for the green check marks that will appear. This is how we get in our, portal that you have completed the top. So what to do after? And what to tell the client. So once the order is finalized, a page with a QR code will appear on your screen, as I showed you. Invite the customer to scan this QR code with their cell phone to complete the order on their own personal cell phones. If the client does not have a cell phone or refuses, the same link is sent to their email to complete the registration at home. That link expires in 48 hours. So they have two choices. Either they can complete it with you, which I personally do with them because I want to be sure everything is complete. But if the client refuses, that's when I tell them the same link will be sent to your email if you ever change your mind. And you remind them it will be expired, that link, in 48 hours. So if ever they change their mind after they say, you know what, I'm going to order the coffee that and the NC selected for me, if it's higher than 48 hours, they will not have that link that will appear. Narmela, I think I saw your hand raised. Yes.
So those machines that we sold is getting, how do you say? So this is a new things going on, right?
New thing meaning like a new step?
Yeah, new stuff, yeah.
So this was already also applied in TAP initially, but we did have different confirmations from Nespresso in the last couple months. So now this is how the client will be able to order the capsules if ever they want to order the 50 capsules that you selected for them. But if the client, they say, you know what, right now I don't want to buy capsules. I want to try, let's say, the 12 capsules in the box before I do my first purchase. You can tell them you have that opportunity as well, but you'll have to select your own capsules later on. Does that answer your question, Hermela? All right. Yes, Kelly. Your mic is on mute, Kelly.
I thought I clicked it off. When they got to the part about the credit card number, let's just, assuming the customer isn't going to purchase today, and they select credit card, will it let me continue without inputting the information? Because I don't want to get pushback from the client. Well, I don't want to buy now. I just want to, so can I continue from there without putting in an actual card number?
Yes, always. We never take their credit card number. So to go back on this page, you will have the payment options. This is what you would see. It's just a button saying Visa, MasterCard, Amex. So that means like they have to pay through a card, not cash. But once you select that, you will never have to add their credit card ever. It's something personal. Obviously, for privacy conditions, we never take their credit card.
Thank you. So, and one other thing, I've just gotten my TAP working here just last week. And in the two that I thought I had registered, I got as far, the phone verification got done. But then I think it was right after that the screen wouldn't move. It wouldn't go anywhere. And the only way for me, so I had to cancel to back out of it. So I've never seen these last few screens, so I'm not too sure. Does anybody else experience that?
So I'm going to be very honest with you. TAP, which is why we've extended the commission to being half-half. Even though Nespresso from January, they're saying they want the commission to be based only on TAP. We've negotiated for them to devise that commission. The reason why is because TAP is an application where sometimes it gives problems. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes it does, lag, it does bug, and, we don't have sometimes the control over, which is why if ever you have any problems, and I'm saying starting this weekend, if you have any problems, if you have certain pages that doesn't load properly, please take a picture of that page, send it to your field manager, and tell the field manager the explanation of what the problem is. The reason why on Mondays or like on the following weekend, Nespresso has calls. I apologize. Give me a second. My dog is barking. Sorry. Okay. So I was saying, yes. So in case where there's any problems, take a screenshot and send it to your field manager. Your field manager will have a meeting with Nespresso, and he will be telling the Nespresso what are the problems with proofs and when it happened and how to fix. Like Nespresso will find a way to fix those problems. We have people in the system dedicated for that. So that's why you play a huge role in TAP in this case. Okay. Yes.
Can I offer one other thing? We finally figured out just this past weekend what was happening with me, because Diane and I were working on it every single sale that I made. We just finally figured it out. I had to not be connected to Wi-Fi, which went against everything I would have thought. And I had to have data on. The second that happened, boom, it worked like a charm. So just in case somebody else has been experiencing that, try turning off Wi-Fi and turning on data.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the tip. Yes, so Wi-Fi's in the store, they're not very efficient, which is why we've added LTE in all your in all your iPads. So if ever you have any problems, always connect. The most I can recommend you connect your iPad to the LTE, and if ever it still shows you any problems, you take a screenshot of that and you send it to your field manager as soon as you can. Thank you very much, Kelly, for that. Perfect. Emmanuel.
Okay, so this goes back to, I guess, the capsules, right? As for mine, last week, what I was getting is a few people wanting to like order capsules, right? So in this case, I can actually look them up. Am I correct? Say if it's a person that got it as a gift, Christmas.
Shein itself.
Yes.
So you're asking me if let's say if it's a gift,
Mhm.
can I still select the capsule? Can I still create an account for the person?
Yes.
So yes. So that's a great question. You are going to have to create the account with the customer, and then later on when the person actually receives the gift, that's when they can create their own account with Nespresso themselves.
So if they had received it Christmas time, right? I can just create an account with them, and then they can go back with the serial number for the warranty purposes. I'm asking.
So warranty, like the account will be registered with the date of purchase with the serial number.
Okay.
Later on, when the person receives the gift, that's when they will have to create their own account, and the serial number will be linked to the date of purchase.
Okay,
So if ever Nespresso can't figure it out.
So the issue I had, right? Two customers, well, on separate days came over, and they were like, "Oh, I have a machine. I received it as a Christmas gift. What I want to buy is the capsules, right? Like, I mean, going forward, if I want to order, do I go to the two separate stores, or can I come by here because I'm in Brantford to order?" No, at that point, I didn't have this program set up, right? But I mean, if they do come back, do I just create an email with them and then order the capsules? Are they still gonna have that warranty still activated? If not, or would they have to give me the serial number for me to add it then?
I get it. So sorry, I apologize. I didn't understand your question before. So basically, we usually do TAP when the client is actually buying the machine with us.
Okay.
So later on, when a client has already gotten the gift, we can't create TAP because usually the serial number is already most probably linked to an account.
Okay.
And like we use TAP on the date of purchase as a proof, you know? So if the client gets back in 3 months, the warranty already started, which is why it doesn't match up to TAP's registration.
So regardless, I could just create an email for them for the order without worrying about the other stuff, right?
Usually I tell them just complete it on your own,
Okay.
creating an Nespresso account. And if ever the client still struggles, they can call customer service and they will have the account created from customer service.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Yes, Kelly.
Sorry, I hadn't turned off my mic. So let's say I've got a gift, I got it as a gift, or sorry, I said that wrong. Say I'm selling it to a mom and I say to her, I want to register the tap. And she says, but it's not for me, it's for my daughter. I would say to her, well, we still want to get the warranty registered in your name. And then how is she going to transfer it to her daughter? Like, how will the daughter do that? Will she have to log into mom's account?
No, so the daughter would have to create her own account. And that will, like, the serial number in the system will already be linked to the date of purchase. So when let's say the daughter has any problems with the machine, they call customer service, they will give the serial number and they will have date of purchase on when the warranty is. But technically, the warranty still applies. Like, Nespresso's customer service is excellent. It's just a faster way to get that service with Nespresso. So I'd say create the warranty with TAP, like the backup, and it would do the recommendation of first order. If the mom is not ready to pay, that's when, the 48-hour expires. The daughter would have to create their own account and, order their own capsules in the system when they're ready. So the reason why we do the TAP registration with the mom is to have that date of expiration, just in case, like the warranty. But again, customer service at Nespresso is known for it. Like, every problem, usually they find a solution. So yeah, yes, Kelly.
I'm still not clear because the customers like to know exactly how they're going to do something. So I say, okay, mom, so you're going to do this. You need to confirm the email and your daughter's going to need to do what?
Create their own account when they receive the gift to
And
be
then
able to
add
do
the
future
serial number?
orders.
So the daughter's going to create her own account and then type in the serial number and then that will put it into her name? Will that transfer it from mom's name to daughter's?
So usually to create their own account, if the serial number is already registered to an account, that serial number doesn't work again. Usually that's what the account looks like.
So it's always going to be in mom's name then?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason why we create mom's account is that, like, let's say something happens throughout the time the daughter did not receive the gift, like they have their own account later on, that time the proof will be integrated into the system. And if they call customer service, they tell, you know what, I have a problem with this machine. This is like the date already, the date of purchase is integrated in the system. But later on, if ever the daughter has any problems, they call customer service. Usually they tell the serial number code, that date will still be appeared in the system on their side.
So will Nespresso then help them? Would she, if I said, oh, well, I got this as a gift and it doesn't work, Nespresso is going to help me even though it's not in my name? Sorry, I know quite a bit about warranty, so I'm just picturing what the client might say and how, like, I want to make sure they know all the steps.
They will have the warranty, even though, like, again, Nespresso service, I'm going to be very honest, like, even though the warranty passed, a lot of times I've heard clients still gotten a warranty, still gotten the service as like a free service, even though it was after the warranty. But we do that as a backup, just in case, like, let's say they drop the machine and the machine breaks. If it's like the client's fault, that's when usually all of the service and the replacements of anything will be free throughout that 1-year warranty. So which is why the system will already integrate the serial number in like with the date of expiration of the warranty, but technically the daughter will still keep the serial number, so it would be already applied in the system. And the serial number is already also fixated on the bottom of the machine. So if ever they throw out the box, they could just look up on the bottom of the machine and it's written down. Okay. Of course. Any other questions? Yes, Namla.
As Emmanuel was saying, so we can sell the capsule or not?
If the client like already bought a machine and it's a couple of months after they're coming for TAP registration, no, we can't do the TAP registration. They'll have to complete it themselves.
Okay, that's it. Just I asked to make sure, you know.
Sure. Of course.
100%. Yeah.
I understand.
Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions? I'm only hearing 3 people. Are there any other questions? No? Yes, Naomi.
I was just wondering for customers who say they don't want to set up the warranty, because I've had a couple people say like, well, yeah, I understand I could set the warranty up for them, but I want it to like them to decide that and it all be in their name. Just stuff to kind of confirm that it won't cause any issues with the person they're gifting it for.
So technically, if the receipt is kept, the warranty is still applied with that first date of purchase. And another thing, if the client refuses on, they say, I don't want my email linked. Usually we want to obviously go back on the arguments why we do TAP, such as new promotions and a faster service, and go back on the initial arguments. But you simply have to either tell them, you can complete it later on, or if it's like a quick, I don't want to bypass the system, but like if it's the next day they're coming back with a machine, we could do the TAP registration. But if it's like another person coming like months later, that's when I usually would skip TAP. Like if it's more of a favor thing I would have done. Like if I told them like, hey, if the person comes back and they see me, I can do the registration for them as a favor. But like I wouldn't want to do it for every client, especially if they come back after a couple of weeks, right? Yeah. Yes, Emmanuel.
Save their shit. They tell you they're sending it to their son in Costa Rica, and they want the son to actually register it when it gets there, and they don't want nothing to do with it. Can we just sell it to them without registering it and have the son do it when it gets there, or do we still have to put the person buying its name in the system?
They can obviously go home with only the purchase and do it themselves.
Okay.
But for us to get the commission, we'd want them to complete
Okay.
TAP with us as well, right?
Wow.
So like the commission, like we do TAP again to facilitate the client's experience. So if it's gifts, usually we still want to create the account as, I usually tell them it's a proof of warranty, plus it's a faster service for later on, and usually just get notifications, and later on the client can still create their own account and do their own coffee orders like any other client. Okay. Any other questions? Mike.
So just 2 things. Talked about the price of delivery going from $50 to $75. There was a time delivery was free. You ordered, delivery was free. Okay. At that time, virtual line capsules were 65 cents, but that's going back a few years. With the registration number, it seems ridiculous, but if you take the cup holder and just put it on the bottom, just, hi, customer, once you open the box, take this out, put it on the bottom. If there are any questions, if there's anything, this easily removes, as opposed to having to take the machine and turn it upside down and find that number.
Mhm.
So that's the other thing. Last but not least, and then I'll let you get back to very educational. It's wedding season. It's always wedding season. Person XYZ is coming in. They're looking at a machine. Hi, how are you? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. How many weddings do you have to go to this year? Because somebody does. Somebody does. Oh, you get a machine for yourself and you get one for the wedding group. And register both in the tap, and just it's just you sleep well at night. All right, thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Honestly, great tips. Yeah, a lot of times, especially this season, I love it because clients, when they refuse to buy a machine with you, you can simply say like, hey, do you have another location you're thinking to get a machine for, like your workplace or a wedding season, like you said, right? Or sometimes people are moving to different locations, like different houses, different apartments. So it's a great gift for a housewarming gift. So, it's always better to find questions for the customer to be able to make them think on where they add a machine, and tap were there to make it easier for them. So when they create tap, everything will be handled through Nespresso's customer service after. Okay, thank you. So let me finalize on the last couple of slides of the presentation if I don't have any questions. Okay. So if the client does not have a cell phone or refuses, the same link is set to their email to complete the registration at home. The link expires in 48 hours, and the customer will need to create a password for their Nespresso account and add their credit card information to pay for the coffee order. So that's the following step. Third step is usually like confirming their information one last time. So if ever the client refuses to do this step, or they want to think about the order they want to do, that's when they skip that step. Okay. And when the registration is complete, the customer will see a thank you for choosing Nespresso, confirming the registration was successful on their account. So once they see that thank you for choosing Nespresso, that means their order usually will be delivered to their house in 48 hours. So that's pretty much it. Any questions about the system itself? Okay. And now one more step I want to add. To make sure all your registrations have been successfully completed, go back to the task menu and select admin and reports. So I could go back on the initial page to show you what it looks like. You see here, task menu. Instead of going new registration, you'll go on admin and reports. And let me go back on the page. So if you have any issues with connections, you must go near the door of the store every beginning and end of shift to make sure the registration is complete. Okay, so once you see here, you see platforms, mobile with the green mobile, and usually the test, where you see test, it will be the client's name. You will see that the green like check mark. If you scroll down, you can always scroll down to go back on the QR code. If ever the client comes to you and tells you, hey, like I lost my QR code, I want to get it back. You can scroll down this like menu, and you can like it will appear more information, such as if you want to send back that code, you're able to send back that code as a QR code in their email. Okay, but basically all of these customer registrations need to be fully done. If you see one is that's not done, it's going to show up here, unsynchronized demo sales. Okay, so if you see client registrations that are stuck there, you'll probably have to do a refresh of your account, like you see here, refresh, and go near a door to make sure the connection is better. So that's why we usually do it at the beginning of the shift and at the end of the shift once. Like, even though you're offline, this will create that online mode. All right. So if there aren't any questions, are there any?
Yes, I have two questions.
Go ahead.
One question is already in the chat box. Somebody else has already put in the chat box that if we register a machine and it's returned afterwards, and we want to sell and register, try to register once again, then it will show it's already registered under another customer's name. So what will happen in that case? Because every store has a return policy of around 30 days. So if a customer return after a couple of days and you want to sell again and register, what will happen in that case? Certainly it will not allow us to register with the same serial number.
Yeah. So if you see back, like nothing will happen. Your commission and in this case will still be paid. Okay. But something to keep in mind, usually returns are already selected with the account's name, the serial number. So if any case where you have a return and you're writing back that same machine to sell it to your new customer, we have to take a screenshot of that serial number and send it to your field manager. So Nespresso from the back end, they can remove the account from the customer.
So immediately they cannot do the registration. So
with
there
that
will be
same machine,
there
no.
will be a so there will be a long procedure for that customer. They have to contract back again to register that machine. So it will be a challenge in that case.
Yeah, so in this case, I'd say just if it's a new customer buying that same return machine, just get another machine. You will have probably others in stock. But in any case where it's your last one available, that's when we'll have to manually adjust in the back end.
So that's the challenge. And one more question. If a customer purchases a machine for a gift and he or she don't want to do the tap immediately, and later on who gets the gift after, it could be after a month, and they start the tap registration, then when the warranty will start? Just at that time, once he is registering the one, or once it's been purchased?
It's been purchased and the account is already created linked to a serial number.
No, if it is not created, like I sell a machine today and the customer wants that for a gift. He hasn't do the tap. And then if he send it for other person as a gift, and after a month, he or she started doing the registration, then when the warranty will trigger? From the date of registration or from the purchase date?
It's usually from the date that the registration is complete.
Okay.
But technically, don't forget, like the official insight. But technically, like warranty is applied from the day that it's purchased. So I mean,
it's sold in a store, then the store has to inform to Nespresso that this machine is being sold, and then they will start the the warranty. Like if I do the registration after 2 months, it's actually 2 months plus 1 year is the registration. Even I start using the machine, I don't do the registration, and I start doing the registration after 2 months. So it will be 2 months plus 12 months, right? That's not 1 year in that case.
I'm trying to think because
yeah, I purchased a machine today. I start using that today, but I don't do the registration. I do the registration after 2 months. Then how long will be the warranty? This 2 months that I used, and plus 1 year additional,
Yeah.
or it will trigger from the date of purchase.
So
May I?
honestly,
I?
with yes,
Sorry.
give me one moment. I'm gonna try to answer, and then
Mhm.
I'll let you finish. So technically, again, like I said, Nespresso's customer service is excellent. Okay, like I've
Mhm.
had so many clients where they came, they told me, you know, it was a gift I received, and I called customer service. They still gave me the warranty, even though it has been more than a year. Like, it's always the best customer service you'll ever think of. Okay, so usually, yes, the warranty applies from the date of purchase, but if it's a gift, usually when the client creates an account and they explain to customer service, I received this as a gift, that's when usually the warranty will still be applied after the 1 year.
It's from the date of registration, not from the date of purchase. Exactly.
Technically, yes, because again, it's Nespresso offering the best customer experience always. Okay, like they bypass a lot, even though yes, we say to customers it's 1 year warranty, they bypass so many times to keep the clients happy. I've had many customers like saying this, and they told me, like, I called customer service and they still gave me the warranty even though it has been more than a year. Yes, Mike.
I was just going to agree completely with what you said. So from the point it's registered, technically, that's when the year starts. Having said that, I've had 2 machines that were more than, yes, 4 years old. And yes, I sent them back to Nespresso because they were having issues. And yes, Nespresso sent me a machine so that I could keep buying capsules while they fixed the 2 machines that were being repaired. And then they sent the repaired machines back so I could keep buying capsules. And at the start of this whole meeting today, first words were, Nespresso needs you to buy capsules. Please keep that in mind. And so to that end, the paperwork says the warranty is this, this, and this.
Yeah.
However, keep buying capsules. Now,
Exactly.
caveat, Match doesn't want to hear this, Nespresso doesn't want to hear this, but I get a machine on the 1st of April and I don't register it. I buy all my capsules from Starbucks. They work. And then on the 1st of September, I register the machine and I buy Nespresso capsules. Going to turn my mic off now because Google's going to be calling and saying, "Hey, don't say that out loud." Anyhow, that's a complete option.
Yeah. So I think it explains
Hey,
best.
Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, you see what Mike just said, right? I've realized, I mean, a lot of people come to, especially like the store I'm in, right? And we start talking, they're like, oh, I have a machine, but I buy in Starbucks. Let's just say they have a machine and they received it or they bought it and we never got them to register. And they're using Starbucks capsules. And for some weird reason, there's something wrong with it, right? Do we go back and give them that warranty, or do we just say, okay, you know what? From the beginning, you've been, like, I mean, you haven't registered it. So because the year is over, that's it. Is that possible? Because I mean, that's a great way to pitch to a customer, right? Just to
Mhm.
kind of get them to that whole Nespresso capsule situation. Because I mean, in the store I'm in, there's Starbucks capsules, but they ain't no Nespresso ones, right? So I mean, just to kind of sweeten the whole deal, I could just say, okay, you know what? The machine is under warranty, right? But for us to actually realize that you are registered, first of all, we need this, just so that we have your warranty. At the same time, if you keep buying these capsules, for sure, right? If you send it off to wherever you're sending it to, they kind of have a trail of that, right? That you've been buying capsules. So yes, you're still under warranty. Does that work in the same way or no?
Yes. So technically, again, like Mike said, Nespresso wants clients, that's how they make their money. They don't technically make money off of their machines. Okay, so they're going to want to do anything they can for the clients to be able to get the machine working, to be able to purchase capsules. So even though clients are big Starbucks fans, they can still buy Starbucks, doesn't matter. But the moment that that warranty applied, usually, yes, the warranty finishes, but so many times that happened where customers still call customer service and they still got the warranty, they still got the services. So as long as the date of registration is done, at least Nespresso can know, like you can use that as an argument more to register TAP. But technically, yes, warranty is applied sometimes more than a year. But when a case where it happens where clients like absolutely destroy a machine, like not even by accident, sometimes yes, Nespresso does like if it's like they see their reoccurring thing happening, that's when usually Nespresso will ask them to pay for certain materials that they need to repair the machine, if it's after the 1 year warranty. Okay, so usually that's why we want to give them that warranty as a date. Okay. All right. Did I have any questions in the chat? I apologize if I didn't have time for the chat yet. Where would they claim buy 50, 30 capsules for free if they don't claim on TAP? They can also order their capsules later on. So let's say if they don't order the $30 the capsules with the coffee credit, that coupon will still have the QR code. So the client will still be able to scan that QR code and apply it later on when they're ready. And for future orders as well, they can simply put regular Nespresso orders on the Nespresso site or the application or by phone call. Okay. There are some customers who return machines that are registered in the serial number under, I think I did go over that question. Registered for some reason. Yeah. All right. Okay, so let me go over a couple of objections clients will have, because we do have a couple of them, and I want to do that at least for the last 8 minutes if there aren't any questions. So first of all, I don't have time right now. What would you say to a client telling you this? Yes, Naomi.
Normally I just say, oh, that's exactly why we have the TAP set up, is for people like you who have busy schedules. It makes it so much quicker and easier of a process than having to take time at home. That's normally the best way that works.
Yeah, very good. So you explain simply that everything, I will handle it for you. Yes, go ahead, sorry. Oh, okay. So it was an accident. So yeah, so if I handle everything for you, it will work, like guarantee that you're not going to have any problems at home. Everything will be set up and you're not going to waste your time at home trying to figure out everything yourself. That's pretty much it. Very good. Number 2, I don't want to give my personal information. Let's see who's going to get this one. Yes, Kelly.
I would probably just say, no worries. Why don't I just turn this around? You can type it in from that side. I don't need to see any of it. Just let me know if you have any questions.
Sure. That works very well. Very good. Any other arguments or ways you would try to object this? No? So usually I would still go over the arguments. I would still explain what are the main factors why I'm doing TAP. I would explain that, it's a faster service for you. It's going to give you warranties, better promotions, and better updates. It will give you the warranty applied as a proof. But if ever they still tell you, you know what, right now I don't want to give my personal information, you would personally give them the iPad, keep an eye on them, once again, and they'll have to complete the registration themselves. And if ever they still refuse, that's when you tell them, no worries, you can always do it with customer service. You can call customer service and do it on the phone, and or create the account yourself at home. All right, Kinana.
I did it by accident. I was just trying to see.
Okay, no
I was
worries.
gonna answer the third question. So
Go ahead.
Okay. So the third one, when they like sometimes when they ask me about the tab, they always tell me that's really expensive. My question is like, what should I say to them, you know?
Does anybody want to answer? Yes, Ian.
Yeah, so for the capsule price, what I would usually say is that we're not competing with like Keurig or Black and Decker. We're competing with the coffee shop quality coffee. So if you go to Starbucks and then you would spend like $6 or $7 just for a cup of coffee, and we're giving you the same quality coffee in your kitchen at a cost of from $1.20 to $1.50 per capsule. So that's what we're competing against. We're the same tier of coffee quality. So that's what I would say for the when customer mentioned about the cost of it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
problem.
Yes, Narmala.
That's what I say to my customer. I always compare the prices.
Yeah, we always tell the customer that to compare apple to apple, not to apple to pineapple.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's very good. So usually what I would say like, what's your usual coffee preferences? And then if they tell me, you know what, it's Starbucks, at Tim Hortons, I always get my coffee outside, it's easy to compare to other capsules. But in a case where the client tells us, oh no, you know what, I buy Keurig capsules. Like I buy a big box of Keurig capsules and it costs me 40 cents a capsule. What would you say then? Yes, Narmala.
Well, first I tell them about the quality of the machine, quality of the coffee, and I say to them, when you combine them together, you get something like you're sitting in a high-class restaurant with the over $10,000 machine, because in Zurich, I used to work in Switzerland, and I was the best coffee maker. I used to make a foam, amazing. And I just compare with the, excellent and very cost machines. Then I think beside that, Nespresso has our capsule is aluminum, but the rest they are how they say, the paper coffee, such as has a lot of bleach in it, and after depend of the how strong is your stomach, is a week or a month you feel some acidy stomach. Second, the rest are the plastic.
Yeah.
And I say, imagine heat and the plastic, what it cause you really harm.
Yeah.
That I say.
Very good arguments. So, congratulations also on being one of the best coffee advisors out there. But so exactly what I would say is capsules are made out of aluminum, and that only makes our product fully recyclable, but it keeps our product fresh for years and years, even after date of expiration. And I compare it to a lot of other brands, such as Keurig. I don't actually compare it. But when a client tells me like, hey, what's the difference between Keurig and Nespresso? I focus only on Nespresso. I tell them our capsules are made out of aluminum, which keep our product fresh. Plus, there's no microplastics entering your body throughout time. Those microplastics can finally even like it's very harmful as it can cause cancer to many people, and it's been proven scientifically. So not only keeps the product fresh, but as well as it's easy to use. Every product and capsule is individually packaged to keep the coffee consistent and perfect every time. So with you have to do is when touching a button, everything is completed. I don't want to move a lot onto this topic because it can be a whole other training on, objections with different arguments. But yes, Kelly, do you want to add anything into this before I continue? No? Okay. All right. Anyways, I just realized it's 5:00. So if you do have any questions, please stay. If not, please make sure you're following up with your manager if ever you have any problems with TAP, and make sure you ask your questions. Make sure you do understand how TAP works starting this weekend, because it will be implemented a lot stricter and it will be followed up a lot more starting this weekend. Okay, so please make sure you're actually putting the effort on doing this, because it's part of your service as well. It's part of your job. All right. So thank you very much, everyone. If you do have any questions, stay. If not, have a great weekend, and we'll come back on another Lunch and Learn very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Thank you.
Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
So regarding TAP, right? When we start the shift, when I was being trained, the iPad, right? We all log on immediately. Is that correct? Do we have to log it on our phones as well, or just on the iPad?
It will be only available on the work iPad.
Okay, perfect. Then the next thing, the milks that we're buying two, right? One is kept in the fridge, and the other one we use until the other one, I guess, finishes, and we swap them. The receipts, do we log it in TAP?
Two things I want to comment on this.
Okay.
Make sure you're buying every 2 hours of your work time, one milk carton.
Yeah.
So if you're working, let's say 6 hours, you might need 3 cartons of milk.
Okay.
As you said, you put the first in the refrigerator. You put the first in the kiosk and the rest of them in the refrigerator. Once 2 hours finish, you'll have to do a switch. Even though you didn't complete all of the milk, you'll still have to do a switch, because milk expires after being outside after 2 hours. And let me tell you, if person of health and safety comes, they want to test out the milk, they can close off your kiosk literally if they see that milk is hot and it's not been changed every 2 hours.
Okay.
So it's very, very important, as well as write down the time of the milk carton on the carton itself when you're opening a new milk. Your second question was, where do you add the receipt? The receipt will be added through Repsly.
Okay.
So any purchases you do, it will be everything purchased through, everything submitted through Repsly. And if you have any questions about Repsly, you can always ask your manager.
Okay.
Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yes, Kinana.
What's the best way to approach a customer without being pushy? If you want to tell them about TAP and they always say no, what's the best way to make them do it, without being pushy?
First of all, I tell them in the middle of the conversation before I go to the sale, so it's not a big surprise for them. So I tell them, hey, sir, ma'am, plus, you give the advantages of machines. You maybe go with the one that they would like the most. And then you'd say, if I register the machine on your name, you're going to have first of all, the 1-year warranty applied in the system in case where something happens to your machine. Plus, I'll be able to order coffees with you. It's not forcefully a purchase. You have the choice to actually purchase or not, by adding your credit card later on your own time. But this is a way for me to get the personalized exclusive coffee choices according to what your taste is. So if ever you go on the site after and you're confused on what to get, that account and that creation of order will be able to give you the perfect choices according to what you like. And don't forget to tell them also, technically you still need to buy capsules later on when you buy a machine, right? Nespresso capsules, they're also less expensive compared to Starbucks capsules. So everything will be handled already through Nespresso directly. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any questions? Any other questions?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Of course. And Hima.
Hi, I just have one question. So when I'm expected to start working, because I haven't received any email from my field managers, so wanted to ask about that.
So Hima, your manager will be Jason. Technically, so let me tell you, Jason left the program last week.
Mhm.
So we are
Yeah.
now onboarding a new manager this week, and they'll be contacting you for your first shift, which should start this weekend.
Oh, this weekend?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
Oh.
I'd say depending on we have the promotion or not in the region, you might start either Friday or Saturday.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll be waiting for that email then. All
All
right.
right.
Thank you.
It's going to be more of a phone call, I think, if I'm not
Oh.
mistaken.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
And also one more question, sorry. So do you have another training tomorrow again, right? Training
For
session?
TAP,
Not for TAP. Since I got a mail from you again, like there's another session tomorrow, like April 9th, or is it just today? Do we have any other training session again or
Or-
no?
you completed already the full
I
espresso
did.
training, so no need to join. You've completed the English Lunch and Learn right now, so no need to join anything if you received anything else.
Okay, awesome. Then. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, see.
Have a great day.
You too, thanks.
Thank you. Yes, Normal, I think your hand was raised as well.
Yeah, I have a couple questions. Is not okay, my booth is it inside the Canadian Tire. And I've been surrounded by different brand machines, coffee machine.